This is a video on costume measurement. First of all, you want to use a costume measuring tape similar to the ones shown. Second, you want to make sure that you are getting accurate measurements. Measurements that are not accurate will lead to costly rebuilds, costly tailors, or costly rentals. You want to find out the required measurements, whether that's for the pattern that you are making your build out of, or the required measurements for the rental company that you are renting the costumes from. Professional costumers will typically do a costume measurement in undergarments and in the undergarments that are being worn for the show that you are being costumed for. As an example, if a female is going to be wearing a sports bra for the costume that she would be in on stage, she would want to wear the sports bra for the measurement. At the high school level, we don't typically require that and are able to work around it in most cases. Although proper undergarments worn during the costume fitting are helpful when looking at overall measurements. When doing a measurement at the high school level, we do ask that bulky outer garments be removed to be able to give us the most accurate measurement possible. The fewest number of people should be measuring. 1 to 2 is prime, depending on what you are doing, to be able to get the most accurate and consistent measurements. As you are measuring, please be sensitive to the person you are measuring to make sure that you are making them feel as comfortable as possible during the process. When measuring, you want to start by asking for the character and the actor's name. Most often, you are measuring the actor for the character they are playing. As an example, if a male actor is playing a grandma, you are measuring for the grandma and the costume that you would be putting on the grandma, not the actor. The same can be true for a transgendered student. You would get their character name, and then the actor name, and a cell phone number and email address, so if questions arise as you are building, renting, or measuring in the future, you can contact them. You would then ask for a height and weight. You would also ask for a t-shirt size. Some costume rental companies will also require a suit size or bra size. It doesn't hurt to ask these questions during this activity to get yourself used to asking the questions. The answer does not need to be given, nor does it need to be written down. Another question that you typically will want to ask the person that you are measuring is their shoe size. Please note that based on the style of shoe you are using, you are going to use a different shoe size. Boots typically run big, and other shoes will run small. Sometimes it is more helpful to just have them try on the shoes. But depending on the shoe size and the rental company that you are working with, they may request a shoe size. The first measurement we will be taking today is for chest or bust size. For chest or bust size, the actor being measured is going to raise their arms into a T. The costumer is going to measure around the full size of the chest at the broadest point of the chest, typically across to the nipple. They are also typically going to ask the actor to breathe in deep so they get an extended chest size so that the actor could have a full breath while working. Some costume companies only require the bust or chest measurement. Some also require an under chest or under bust measurement. On a girl, if they are wearing an underwire bra, the under chest or under bust measurement is going to be basically where the wire is at. On a guy, it's going to be the end of the top few ribs. It should not be as small as the natural waist or as large as the bust. The next measurement we will talk about is the waist and the pants waist. The waist, in reality, is the shortest distance between the bust and the hips, or the chest and the hips. If you find your belly button, which Alex has done, and go 2 fingers above your belly button, that is normally where your waist is going to be at on most people. You can also have the actor bend at the waist to the side, and where the bend happens is going to be the natural waist. That would be the natural waist measurement. As you can see on Alex, that is not where the pants are normally worn. The pants waist is where the pants would be normally worn. In that case, you would move the measurement for the pants waist down to where the pants for the actor are normally worn. So the next measurement down the body is the hip measurement. In this case, it is going to be the next broadest measurement past the waist, typically surrounding the butt. If the person does not have a butt, it could be an upper measurement of their actual hip bones. But for the most part, the measurement you just saw around the butt is going to be the most accurate hip measurement. You want the item, dress or pants, to be able to fit around the person's butt. The next measurement is a pants measurement for both males and females. It is outseam, which goes from the natural waist down the side of the leg to the ankle ball. It could also be done if the pants are being built from the pants waist, starting at the pants waist to the ankle ball. It would depend on the time period and the ability to be able to move those pants on where you would measure the waist from. The next measurement is a dress measurement or a skirt measurement from the waist to the knee. Again, it will depend on what measurement you are looking for and what style or time period of outfit you are looking to use. The next measurement is also a dress measurement and goes from the waist to the floor. Dresses, depending on the time period, will go all the way to the floor. You start at either the natural waist, most often used, or the pants waist, depending on the style of costume being used. The last pants measurement is the inseam. For high schoolers, most often it is helpful to give the tape measure to the actor and have them put the tape measure right inside their crotch. It's significantly helpful from an actor standpoint to do this. The tape measure then goes down the leg to just below the ankle ball to be able to measure the inseam. This is a pants measurement. If you are building any style of pants, this would be a measurement you would need to make sure the pants would fit correctly and not rip out the crotch. The next measurement is a full back measurement. On this measurement, you are typically measuring from shoulder to edge of shoulder. Now we move on to sleeves. For a full sleeve, you start at the center of the back, go around the elbow to the wrist ball. For an arabesque sleeve, it is the sleeve measurement that is already there. If you look at the costume that we have here, there is the seam on that shirt around the elbow, again to the wrist ball that is there. That gives a sleeve. When measuring sleeves, the arm is always bent so that you know that you've got fabric for a bent arm and you're not looking at sleeves going way too far up the arm as they're working. The next measurements are neck or nape measurements to be able to get the length of the back. Though you can feel on the person, the bone in their spine that sticks out is typically considered the nape. You can go from a little bit higher above that or right at the nape, and you go down the body to the waist, and you go down the body all the way to the floor. The neck measurement. The reason for a neck measurement is to make sure that the collar of a shirt would not choke the actor as they are working. The neck measurement typically goes around the neck. In some cases, if the collar is going to be high enough to hit the person's Adam's apple, you want to be high enough to hit their Adam's apple. But in most cases, you want to be where the collar of the shirt would be. In modern times, it is going to be a shirt collar like you see now. The next measurement is the head measurement. In this case, you are typically measuring for a hat or a crown. You are going to go around the crown of the head and over the forehead where you would want the hat to be sitting at if the person was wearing the hat. This could also be used for a 1920s style headband or other head garments that you might be needed. At times, wig people will also need a hat or head measurement for the purpose of measuring wigs. The last measured measurement that we are going to do is the girth. We have had to use girth when using flying apparatus that matter for how much weight and pull they are moving. and also for some costumes, possibly leotards. As you are looking at girth, you start at the shoulder and you go down over the bust or chest, through the crotch, and back up across the shoulder blade, back to the shoulder. Please remember that as a costumer, you need to be sensitive to the needs of your actors as you are measuring them. As you are pulling costumes or measuring them, make sure that they feel comfortable with you and comfortable in the costume. If they don't feel comfortable in the costume, it is going to affect their performance. As a costumer, your job is to support the actor in the need of making sure their costume fits right and they feel comfortable in their costume. With that, please make sure that you have accurate measurements and the measurements that you need from the rental company or for the pattern you are using to make your costume. I hope you enjoy measuring people for their costumes.